found him. Took me a week. I had to download that stupid Find Your Friends app. But he was in North Dakota, hanging out on an Indian reservation. He was going by White Badger. It's my buddy Kenny, and we're here at Real Talk.
Hi again, everybody.
We're talking about episode 6. The latest episode of Dungeon Junkies, the Dungeons & Dragons homebrewed real play podcast.
Yeah, we sure are.
And
I wrote it myself.
You wrote it yourself, Kenny. You did a damn good job, if I must say.
Thank you.
And I guess we left off in episode 5, finishing a fight with a badass freaking Byaku, big-ass black tiger, jumped into a portal. Episode 6, where do we pop out? In the freaking ocean?
In the ocean.
All right.
I was really excited to write. I've been wanting to write ocean stuff for so long.
Yeah, let me be real clear about this. Finworth ain't a swimmer.
No.
He ain't a runner. He's a sitter. That's what he does. He sits. So I was not too happy about popping out in the ocean. And quickly climbed up on the back of my old friend Taryn, because he's got them water walking boots. Did you plan that?
Partially.
Partially? Okay.
But I did have a lot of fun listening to how confused you guys were when you were trying to get closer to the island and the people swimming could not get closer.
Okay. That
was fucking funny. That was entertaining.
So let's get into that. So we pop out in the ocean, we're underwater, and we swim up to the surface, and we see an island near us. Awesome. I'm heading straight to that island, except I can't because I'm getting pushed away by some weird magical magnetic field.
And you're the only one who saw it.
Yeah. And trying to get closer to this island, not being able to, I'm trying to do some investigations. I'm thinking, out of game, I have no idea how to get to this island. Yeah. I legitimately had no idea how to do it. We're doing this stupid bullshit with the rope, trying to get to the ship.
And it's really entertaining.
It was like, maybe we're getting somewhere, but I don't know if it's working, and I don't know. And we used our little tricks. So that's essentially what we did. I was climbed on the back of Taryn, who was using his boots of water walking to not really give a shit. He's just walking on top of the water, not an issue. While poor Dr. Euphoria and Devoir tread water. And try not to drown. And not getting closer. And I see from atop his shoulder some wreckage. Now, I want to ask you about this. Because I don't know if it was... I don't believe it was covered. But did I see any sort of name on the wreckage itself?
No.
No, okay.
This thing was completely destroyed.
Oh, dang it. So, but was I able to determine that it was a ship? Like a sailing ship?
Yes, you were.
Okay. So that I'm going to bring that... That's going to come up later towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So, we discovered some wreckage while I'm sitting on the back of Taryn. It's my favorite seat. It's very comfy.
Yeah.
And
you're up there a lot.
Yeah, I'm up there a lot. I think I'm going to stay up there a lot. Well, until next level. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I did leave his plump shoulders, and I swam off because we weren't able to get closer due to some magical shenanigans with the rope. And I dove off his shoulders into the ocean, swam over to the wreckage, and found a wonderful treasure of an unconscious boy.
Yes. I love throwing the children at you guys.
That's a theme I've noticed.
It's fun.
Just hapless children that you throw in our path.
Yeah.
And force us to do something about. And I think this time we actually handled it pretty well.
You handled it very well.
Because I immediately shoved him into my bag of holding.
Yeah.
Did you expect that?
No.
Okay. Me neither. Until I was like, shit, how do I okay, let me look up bag of holding and how much air time does he have. And while I was looking that up, you were saying something about like, oh, I'm pretty sure he has a lot of air. And I was thinking the exact opposite. I was like, I'm pretty sure he has almost none.
It was more like I'm pretty sure I've read in the past that something can last, hours.
Yeah.
Or even a day in the bag of holding. And then it was quickly like, no, he has 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and what it kind of like cemented that in my mind for me was shout out to Sneak Attack. In Sneak Attack, they had some shenanigans in which they were up to their necks in the bag of holding, so they could be carried by another player, but still breathe. And that was the issue, where they still needed to breathe.
I barely remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I was like, shit, they still needed to breathe. I gotta look this shit up. Because I can't have this kid's head dragging through the water.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a little halfling. I'm a little fat halfling. I can't carry a kid. Who, because, let's look this up, Finworth is... He's less than 3 feet tall, I believe.
Yeah, he's a kid halfling.
Yeah, so he's short as far as halflings go. So the kid might have been taller than him, right?
I would say close to the same height.
Yeah?
Maybe a little bit taller.
Definitely skinnier. I'm a little fatty.
Yeah.
Which would have made it harder for me to carry him, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a good swimmer. And so I put him in the bag, and I GTFO'd back to Terran, and I was making no progress.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how I get into the mindset of the character, and I'm thinking, I need to swim back to Terran. That's my goal. Then all of a sudden, the ground starts rising up, and both Devoir and Dr. Euphoria are caught on the back of a dragon turtle.
Yes.
A goddamn dragon turtle, which I want to say is freaking awesome. And I'm so glad I figured out it was a dragon turtle.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was, but I was like, I don't know. I want to know if this is magic or natural. So I'm glad I did that at the end. However, I went into immediate, okay, which one is closer? Which one is easier for me to swim to? Never did I think that Terran could just walk up to me and pick me up.
I don't even think he was going to.
I don't know if he was either, because it was just something we never thought about.
Yeah.
It was like, for me, it slipped on mine. I'm swimming, and I'm thinking...
And you were getting pushed away, too.
Right, I'm getting pushed away, and my entire mindset is, I got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes to get this kid out of the freaking bag before I kill him.
Yeah.
And so, which one is the quicker one to get to? And then all of a sudden, Terran's like, and I walk over and pick him up.
Yeah.
I was like, and I take the kid out and hand him to you, and it's your problem.
Yeah. You were actually on... I want to actually address this, because this was a lot of fun for me. So you were actually on the wreckage, you were swimming, you were getting pushed back and swimming to the right, kind of like parallel with the wreckage as it was being pushed out.
Yeah.
And we never figured out why.
Why it was being pushed out?
Why all of you guys were being pushed out except for Terran, who was standing on top of the water. And obviously you, who was on top of Terran.
And the dragon turtle.
Unrelated to the dragon turtle.
Okay, so that's just extra mystery.
So, it's not too much of a mystery. I was actually very surprised that you guys weren't like, oh, it's just a current.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really surprised. So I actually had flipped a coin to be like, okay, so when they rise here and they're trying to get to the island, am I going to have them in a current or not? Flipped a coin and it was like, of course, it flipped to, oh yeah. So I just wanted to address that.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm face palming or so. Because I'm looking back and like thinking about how you described everything. And it's like, yeah, it was a current. It was, you never said it was hard. You never said it was impossible. You just said it was hard. You said it was harder to pull them.
It was enough to be inconvenient. So it was like, okay, you have this slack on the rope. You're 50 feet ahead of them. There's a slack on the rope because, they're getting pushed out.
But you described
and then it's like, okay, they swim 15 feet forward, and then you notice the slack loosen, and then it starts pulling and tight again.
But let's hold up a goddamn second. You described that so detailed, but vaguely, that it sounded magical.
Yeah.
Because you just don't say it's like a current. And then all of a sudden it's fucking magic. You're like, wait, but I stopped moving and then it's like I'm further away? But But
we're stuck in that
he's
magic
in the same
world.
Yeah, exactly. We were
And it's
all
like-
thinking magic. It's like, no, it's just a current.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
That's pretty funny. I was having so much fun with that. I was like, wait, they not...
We don't understand.
They don't get it.
I'm going to blame Dr. Euphoria.
He should know.
Yeah,
this is a current.
It's a water. It's a fucking current.
Yeah.
And the fact that it didn't affect... Okay, so I was fully like, okay, it's some weird shit where Devoir's not going to be able to go with us. So it's going to stop Devoir, but not stop. Yeah. And then it also stopped Dr. Euphoria.
He could have said, no, let me nature check this.
None of us nature checked it. I nature checked the turtle.
Yeah.
But that's brilliant. I freaking love that. And I'm texting the group chat immediately after this recording to be like, a goddamn current. It was a current.
I was very surprised. I had a good time with that. That was fun.
I love that now. So yes, we were stopped by a current. Ain't no magical field. It was the undertow. And we didn't know because we're a bunch of morons. But thank goodness the dragon turtle took us to shore. And I am hoping that dragon turtle comes back. I don't think it will now because at the time I was like, we are back. It's similar to the desert. And we are back on the main plane. And maybe we'll befriend this turtle. And later on it'll save us. But I guess we'll get to that later. But probably not happening. But we rode the dragon turtle to the island itself. And once there, on the sand, we slapped that kid awake. How actually did we
Let's talk about the sand real quick.
Yeah, I want to talk about the sand. I mentioned that last Real Talk episode. I'm real suspicious about the sand.
There was nothing wrong with the sand at all. I just wanted to give, like, a good description of, like, wow. Because I'm not going to say that yet. But everything is relatively supposed to be perfect.
Yes, I understand now. And it was like, oh my goodness,
it was like,
yes.
I just want to give like a really nice, perfect description of how the sand would feel under your feet.
And it feels like the bones of children.
And it's like, oh yeah, you're sinking in real nice, like it's real just soft and coarse and it's perfectly white. And you got real suspicious.
Yeah, it was that exact attention that you paid to it that I was like, there's attention paid to this.
And and when I wrote it, I was like, they're gonna think something's wrong with the sand. When I wrote it, I was thinking that I never know what you guys are gonna get. I never know.
Yeah, well, luckily, that's a fun thing about Fenworth is I'm able to separate a lot of what I think from what Fenworth would do.
Yeah.
So I might be suspicious of the sand. He doesn't give a shit.
No.
And he's going to run out on it.
Yeah.
So he's going to run out on it, and I'm like, hey, I hope he lives.
Yeah.
I hope he, but we're going to figure out either way. And I think that's like, makes it easier for me as a player because I'm not so hesitant about everything.
Yeah. It's kind of like Damien. When I play Damien, he's very just like, I'm trying to think of the word, impulsive.
Yeah. And I think about Damien's near-death experience a lot when I'm like, and I jump through the portal. And it's like, because it could.
Are you sure you want to do that?
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's a fucking portal, obviously.
Why would it be? Nobody makes a doorway to a wood chipper.
Yeah.
You make a doorway to another room. I'm going in the other room. Oh, shit. No, it was a wood chipper.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
Exactly. But so we brought the small boy to that perfect sand, which was not harmful at all. And, which, it's funny because I'm the only player that thought that it might be harmful.
Yeah.
But also my character didn't give a shit. So we didn't address it, which was very nice.
Exactly.
Didn't waste a lot of time. And, as, the dragon turtle, buried itself. I guess it buried itself back in, pretty much.
Yeah, it burrowed back into the sea, more or less.
What was it that we did to wake up the boy?
Dr. Euphoria had splashed some water on his
That's
face.
what, it was just like, hey, wake up, pretty much.
Yeah.
And, the boy wakes up, can't remember his name, and we're looking around and we see a city off in the distance, and it's freaking Rouen.
Yeah.
We're back where we started. Okay, what the heck? I thought we were in the ocean. So the island is like an ocean island? There's like an ocean on the island?
It's like an island inception because so all of these areas that you've been to are islands.
Islands in a sea.
In the sky. All of these areas are in the air.
Okay, that's what I thought. But Rouen has a ocean around it, or at least a sea or a lake or something?
No, this is a separate island. So it's a chain of islands in the sky.
So we're on a separate one from Rouen, but we can see Rouen.
Yes.
Okay. But it's one that is a ocean.
Yes.
With an island on it.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm learning things, guys. Well, okay. So we're at the island. Back in the sky. There's sailing ships here. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so there's a sailing ship here. Did it originate on this island? Or can the ships teleport through the portals like we did?
Talk about it later.
Ah, dang it. Okay. Because now I'm curious about that. Like, now we're getting into some One Piece Sky Island shit. And I'm like, oh, I love this. Okay. Well, we talked to the boy. And through talking to him, my notes are a little awful on this episode because we had a lot of shit going down.
A lot of stuff happened.
We found out that the freaking boy is Siriu.
Yes.
The dragon. The heck. What the heck? And he tells us that there isn't much time that the stars were going to be falling.
Yes.
And I guess most people would be pretty freaked out by that. But to Fenworth, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he might get to hold a star.
Maybe. So, just to go into the lore.
Yeah.
And sort of explain really what's happening. And on top of that, to explain what happened with all of our sky gods.
Yeah.
And I won't say why, but what happened. So, just to put it simply, these are all the Chinese constellations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Constellation of the north, the south, the east, and the west.
Okay.
Which is where I put them accordingly.
I'm trusting you on this. I don't know anything about Chinese constellations. Don't make me look like an idiot.
So, it's a lot of research. So, basically, they are all fallen constellations, right, that take God form. So, Siriu had, for whatever reason, the constellation of Siriu had fallen and pretty much fell almost in dragon form and just destroyed this ship that was under it.
Okay.
And that was some side stuff I'd written, some just random backstory stuff that I'm going to store for another time. But he'd fallen and destroyed the ship and ended up reverting back to his human form, and he fucked himself up. So,
hell yeah.
Amnesia.
And we saved his ass.
But after that eclipse had happened and the comet started happening, it was almost like a memory refresher, almost like a deja vu sort of deal, which triggered that memory. And then it was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, before that, it was before that the Dark Spirit attacked, right? Before the eclipse, or it was after the eclipse?
No, it was after.
Okay. Well, so then, the eclipse happens and meteors start falling. And this is when he warns us about, or actually right before he warns us that we don't have much time, and then all of a sudden this shit starts happening. It's like, oh, god damn it. Like, come on, man. That's like waking up a minute before the alarm. You didn't really help. But also, you're supposed to, I guess, drown. So, we see a dark spirit that looks just like the ones that attacked all the other guys.
Yep.
And we know, Fenworth knows exactly what these guys are all about, and he ain't trying to fuck around.
Yeah.
So I try to throw that back. I try to get the kid back in the bag.
Yeah, dude.
Because that's the only thing I could do.
You got a good persuasion check, and he...
Hell yeah.
Because he was about to change, and he started changing, and then you persuaded him, hey...
Chill the fuck out.
Get in here, this thing's gonna fucking possess you like it did the other guys.
And oh man, I was close to saving him, and I'm gonna blame him because had he never tried to change, I could have just put the bag over him and be good.
Yeah.
But luckily, Dr. Euphoria, like always, coming in to save the day, and he got us with that protection from good and evil spell.
Yeah.
Which has been pretty clutch, like for the whole season.
I feel like he almost took that spell because he knew that what's going on in the story.
Yeah, I mean...
or what you guys are dealing with.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense from a story point of view. As he's a cleric. I guess protection from good and evil makes sense, but you could definitely have a cleric and have damage spells instead of that.
Yeah.
So either way, I ain't complaining. It's been super helpful.
Yes.
And
especially in that situation.
Yeah, because he was able to get it on time and prevent the dark spirit from inhabiting Siriu, which probably would have led to a real shitty battle.
Yeah.
Our first dragon battle.
Yes.
Which we avoided.
You avoided it completely.
And got, I don't know if it got on recording or it may have been mentioned afterwards, but that got freaking Dr. Euphoria inspiration. So
yes, that was after. I gave it to him after.
So he's sitting on that sweet inspiration. And also, speaking of which, we're going to need to do some experience.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to get to that level 6. But yeah, so we prevented the dark spirit from entering Siriu.
Not only did it prevent it, it pretty much destroyed it and shattered it.
Yeah, it fled.
How I wanted that scene to play out was like, this thing is firing full speed.
Yeah.
And it's like, before that, you're like, shit, get in the fucking bag. And then this thing fires at him, and then Dr. Euphoria goes, huh?
Nope, bitch.
Nope. And then it fucking hits him and to take him, and then it just shatters.
Yeah. And that was fucking great. And like I wonder how, I guess we'll get into it a little bit. But I wonder how much worse things could have turned out had we had to sit there and fight for a few minutes while everything else is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because immediately after that, we let him. Well, not I let him out of the bag because Fenworth finished putting him in the bag because he got overexcited and he was like, "Oh shit, hold up! I got a dragon in my bag. What should I do?" And then we just came to the conclusion. Well, we were like, let's just sit and chill because hold up, we got the dragon in the bag. Let's chill.
Make sure there's nothing. And you made sure specifically that there was nothing else around.
Yeah, because that's like the last thing we need is to get ambushed.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think I natty 20'd that or something.
Yeah,
Either way,
so.
I got real high. Didn't see no dark spirits. Did see a bunch of meteors coming down to destroy everything.
Yes.
So I dumped that dragon out of my bag, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that as the saddest moment in Fenworth's life. Because I don't think he would ever get another chance to have a dragon in his bag.
No.
It's probably the only chance you ever get to be like, I own a dragon. I owned a dragon for 10 seconds. And then I had to give it back to the world. But for 10 seconds, my dragon was mine. And thank goodness he did, though, because he flew us back to Rouen.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess we never really thought about the fact that we never looked down. We were more focused on the meteors crashing down on everything. That we were flying from one sky island to another.
That's what I was trying to explain. I just did a shitty job of explaining it.
Well, also, none of us were focused on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was more focused on the meteors and whether or not they were actually falling on Rouen. And were they actually hitting the city, or were they just like inbound?
They did not hit the city.
That's what I thought.
They were going to.
Yeah. So we landed in the city, in the like kind of courtyard area, portal area.
Yes.
And talked to Siriu for a bit, and he explained, you got to stop Kieran. Or something along the lines of, Kieran is the reason this is occurring. And then I'm assuming, sacrificed himself. He faded into, he disappeared. And when he did, the meteors left as well.
Yes.
He was able to stop them. But before that, we were able to get a seal from him. He gave us that.
he gave that to you guys. Pretty much what happened is they had all the gods that existed still, or that were down in the Ruan area, had gone back up.
Right. Yeah.
Back to their constellation where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Because everything's out of place right now.
So we righted things.
You're getting there.
Okay, interesting. That's the first time I think we've ever done something like that.
Yes.
Done something right. But yeah, so he joined them as well when he faded away. That was essentially what was occurring. Okay.
Yeah, all of them together.
All right. That's like some at the end of Return of the Jedi Force Ghost shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But wait up, that's a different Anakin. Okay, well, Hayden Christensen, why are you here? But yeah, so but when we landed with Siriu there, we did notice that there was nobody else in the area, and that place previously had been pretty heavily populated, right? It was like kind of there weren't necessarily market stalls there, but it was
not as many people in the courtyard, but it was there was activity.
It was like a transit place. People were coming to and from, I assume.
Yeah,
and there's nobody there now.
No,
which automatically that's like spooky because you get the silence. It's like Dawn of the Dead or whatever.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Right, or no, I'm thinking 28 Days Later. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Right. So,
yeah, it is 28 Days Later.
Yeah, and then as we're walking around with our butts hanging out in our little medical jammies. We're not doing that, but the center portal lit up, and it's like, okay, that's pretty obvious because we're at least to Fenworth because he's walking up with all these seals in his possession. Even if it's unrelated, he's thinking he's got a lot of magical mojo on him.
Exactly.
And I go right through the portal like I always do. Well, actually, let's revert a little bit because when the portal opened up, looking through it, it went straight to the sky, like clouds, middle of the day, and
after you open the gate up.
Right. The gate, yeah.
After you open the door.
And Dr. Euphoria tosses a little gold coin through. Because he's a big spender. And I guess it bounces off does it bounce off the clouds itself? Or was it just air that it bounced off of?
It's pretty much just like an open, it's not just the cloud. It's like this area.
Okay, so it's just like clear.
Walkable sky area.
Well, that's pretty freaking, like, I don't know about that. So when Fenworth walked through, because he's definitely walking through, because, hold up, that coin bounced. We can walk through there. That's cool. But, like, I'm not an idiot. So Fenworth is staying on the cloud as much as he can. But, yeah, Fenworth went straight through, and as he did, a shadow descended upon him. Mm-hmm. And that was where we freaking ended the episode?
Yep.
Fenworth by himself? Making friends? Oh, man.
A big friend,
too. A big friend. I think that's what, that's what he's really all about, trying to make friends. That's why he made friends with Siriu.
Yeah.
Tried to make friends with Gimbu.
too.
And,
Suzaku and Byakuya died too fast.
Yeah, it happened.
You didn't have a chance
Well, also, Suzaku had them chicken legs. I don't like them chicken legs.
Yeah, freaky.
Yeah, they're freaky.
Freaky tall birds, and birds are dicks.
Birds are dicks. Birds, listen, everybody, birds are dicks. Don't have a pet bird. That's the worst pet you could ever have. Yeah. Is a bird.
Unless it's a parrot.
Or
it says really hilarious things.
100% disagree with that. Now that I think.
Oh.
No, not the parrot.
Oh, worst pets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Because I would have a raven.
Ravens are smart.
Yeah. But parakeets suck.
Parakeets suck.
And with that, we're going to end this episode of Dungeon Junkies Real Talk. Parakeets suck, and you need to get rid of them.
Birds suck in general.
Let them be free.
Parakeets are the worst.
Let them be free.
Let them fly.
Let them fly.
They don't need to be in a cage in your shitty living room.
Yeah, and you know who else I'm going to let fly? Is Kenny. Kenny, let fly. And you know where you need to let fly at? www.dungeonjunkies.com. And there you can fly away to all those little reviews. Give us some 5-star reviews. go to all them stars that are raining down on us on this beautiful episode of Dungeon Junkies.
That's a good way to...
Yeah, I'm feeling a little poetic.
Yeah.